Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I'm really, really excited because I'm so excited to learn from her. She is a marketing strategist and launch expert, which I think is so cool. And she helps people with building their funnels, getting out there. And this is something that I'm doing literally right now, working on my funnels and going through. So I feel like this is a little bit selfish, but I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about how that works. So thank you so much for joining me with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me and sending the invitation. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, me too. So I would love to know. So you had sent me an email, and I was kind of reading about that you did not start out in marketing, and you started out as in law, is what I remember. Is that correct? So how
Yes.
did you kind of make that transition? I would love for you to kind of walk me through just kind of a quick version of your story.
Yeah. In 2020, I graduated from law school, and I had this dream to, be a lawyer, go into corporate law, and then, a few years down the line, start my own business. So business was always there in the picture, but I never really thought I'd start with it so soon. So, it's gonna sound like right out of a Bollywood movie, but this is what happened. It was my internship. It was during my last semester of my law school, and I was interning, and then I got absorbed into the company as a full-time employee right after the internship. So I remember just walking to my office, right in the just standing right in front of the gate, and I was like, I mean, I can't be doing this for the rest of my life, because it was very repetitive. And, what you see, I was highly inspired by Suits, the TV show.
Yeah.
And and I was like, okay, so, the law world is something of this sort, you keep moving forward, you go to courts and, do all these things. But then in my role, which was that of a corporate lawyer, it was much more sedentary, and I didn't think that I wouldn't like it that much, and I found it to be very repetitive. It was not very challenging. So, and it was in 2020, which was right during the pandemic.
Mm.
So yeah, so it was March of 2020, and I was working, and then I was not quite liking it, and then within the next 2 months, I thought, this, I can't be doing this. So I put in the papers, and I think I was, you know, one of the earliest people to quit a job, probably, because I didn't like it at all. So I put in my papers and I explained to my boss that, this is not something that I would want to continue. And then right then, my partner was like, he has his businesses. So he was like, and I used to always give him advice, like, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, especially in, the current scenario, which is more sort of digital marketing. I didn't have an idea about that, but then I knew, like, you could be doing various things. So he was like, why don't you like help me out with this? So I thought, okay, why not? Since, I'll be it's the pandemic, maybe I'll change jobs, I don't really know, let's try
Mhm.
something out. So that's when I fell into the online world. I got certified, I saw all these courses, I thought of taking up a course, and then that's how it got started. I fell in love with sales funnels, particularly, even if we had ads and all these things as well. I've learned all that, but sales funnels was like the thing for me, because I
Yeah.
felt like that's, it's so beautiful. You make sales out of people that are just strangers over time. You nurture them, and then they become your customers, and
Yeah.
that's really beautiful, because it takes skills and it takes strategy to do that, and I really love doing it, and I fell in love with it. And 2 years later, now we are in 2023, 3 years later, here we are. And yeah, that's how I got started. I started helping people with their funnels, and then slowly pivoted towards, just helping coaches launch their funnels,
Mhm.
and then handling the branding as well, because brand is everything in today's
Yes.
world.
Yeah. I love that. And sales funnels are actually a lot of fun if you have kind
Yes.
of that eye and you kind of know what you're looking for, because we met through Maria Wentz program and
Yes.
I love her funnels. I'm a big pink lover, so I love all of her colors on her website. Whenever I click on things, it just makes me feel so warm. Like I love this color. This is so so nice. And I love to invoke that in someone else, you know? So kind
Right.
of looking back, I mean obviously this was a pretty big pivot going from law and then realizing it just really wasn't what you thought it was and just wasn't bringing you the joy that you were hoping for, to going into marketing. Is there anything that you'd kind of say to maybe your 17-year-old self kind of looking in the past, or any kind of 17-year-olds looking forward into the future?
Right. So the thing that I would tell my 17-year-old self would be don't limit yourself and don't put labels on certain job titles, especially coming from the background that I come from. Things are very traditional. And people, especially in the South Asian community, they are very focused towards, you just have three or four jobs that you can take. Either you can become a doctor, lawyer, engineer. It's that standard thing, right? So otherwise, there's nothing as such. And especially becoming a business owner, that's a
Mm-hmm.
different ball game together because it's like we need some sort of, our parents look out for some sort of security that, a job would provide you. But business is something that until and unless you make things work, it's not going to work. So the biggest thing definitely would don't limit yourself. And you never know what would work for you, what you would like, and what you could provide to other entrepreneurs or other people, and how you can be useful to others.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're talking about, that labels, because I grew up in the South Asian community in America, but also the East Asian community, which they have the exact same model. So I got it on like both ends of the spectrum, which I thought was really funny. But it's amazing that I feel like we're slowly moving into a world where we have the internet and we have the knowledge for these other types of avenues of income that are not just doctor, lawyer, engineer, things like that. And I hope it brings some peace to other kids. Like, I can make good money without sacrificing my entire life for something I don't even like, right? Like, if you like being a doctor and a lawyer, that's great. But you don't have to force yourself, which I think is really amazing. So kind of before we leave, I would love to know, do you have any like basic tips for like someone who, right, is just looking into funnels or just looking into marketing, and like they have like their newbie 101, they don't really know anything? What would kind of be your go-to tips of like, okay, this is the first thing you need to know, the first thing you need to find out, the first thing you need to implement? Anything, any tips like that?
Okay. In terms of business owners that want to, automate their businesses, sales funnels are really good. And I do understand that when you're just starting out, you might not have the budget to invest into an expert. So, few things for sales funnels that I would like to give to people, or especially, new business owners, would be keep things simple and test things out. So, in terms of funnels, first thing would be you have to build an audience, no matter what. That comes important. It's very important, and then you also need to, give a lot of value for free. So that you build a community, get people in, and then you make your sale. So that would be just one offer, and then you have to test that offer whether people are buying that offer or they're not. So once that is done, you have to get started with your funnels that way. And then with time, once that is proven, then you can have your low ticket offers and you can have your high ticket offers. And then you can build your value ladder, as we call it, with your upsells, your downsells. And then you can expand that way. But definitely don't have a lot of offers together because it will
Mm,
overwhelm you. And also with different offers, what really you have to look into is if you have different audiences with those different offers. So let's say if you have two different courses. So one would be, let's say you're a business coach, and the other you're a relationship coach, and you want to start a coaching business. Your audiences are completely different. One B2B and the other would be B2C. right? So
Mhm.
when your audiences are different, then your funnel will also change. So there something which has only one audience, and then with time you branch out to different audiences. So that's the thing that I would like to tell the first time business owners for sure. Keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Oh yeah, I think that's great. I feel like it's so easy to overwhelm because the market is so oversaturated. People constantly feel like they just got in, like, oh, I have to have 15,000 offers and I have to have so many different price points, but it's like simple is better. It is easier to do, it is easier on your brain, and I think that's a really great tip. So thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. I have had so much fun, and I think this has definitely been helpful for my own funnels that I get to work on later today. So yeah, thank you so much for the time today. Is there any last thing you'd kind of like to throw out there before you wrap it up?
Nothing much really, but definitely I would like to tell people, especially if you're struggling with, confidence issues, especially if you're a teenager watching this, you need to understand that things will get better and you
Mm.
will improve. You don't really have to compare things with others, because what you see in the face value is not always a reality. So you need to stop comparing, and yeah, things will definitely get better.
Perfect. And what's the best way that people can reach out to you, find you if they'd like to seek some more of your expertise?
Right. So my you can reach out to me through my website or my email as well. But definitely my website would be www.pratima-sharma.in. And that's how you can reach out to me if you're interested in having your funnels made or having a free strategy call so that we can work something out for you.
I would love that. So I'm gonna make sure that I leave her website and her email in the description so people can find it just a little bit easier. So Pratima, thank you so much for the time today. I have had a blast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.